Good morning, guys. Today we are going to start the second chapter. It's the control and coordination. Let's start the chapter. Coordination means the working together of the various organ of the living organism in a systematic, controlled, and effective or efficient way to produce the proper response to various stimuli is known as coordination. Okay, then what do you mean by the stimuli? What do you mean by the stimuli? Then stimuli are the changes in the environment. A stimulus may be in the form of the energy like the heat, light, sound, and any chemical touch or pressure, right? Okay. Now next is control and coordination in the animals and plants. Then in the plants, they do not have the nervous system. Plants do not have the nervous system. They do not have. Whereas animals have the nervous system and the endocrine system to control and coordinate their activities. Because plants do not have the nervous system, then only the coordination is done by only hormones. And in animals, nervous system plus endocrine system both are responsible. And in plants, only endocrine system, or we can say hormonal system, is responsible for the coordination and control of the all activities. Next, receptor. Now, in our body, some specialized tips of nerves are there which collect the information. Nerve fibers, the tips of the nerve fiber collect the information, and that information is conducted by the nerves. And these receptors are also called the sense organs, and these are classified as follows. Now see this table. In this table, the first is phonoreceptor. It is written pheno. It is should be PHONO, phonoreceptor. Phonoreceptor is present in the inner ear, right? And these are for the hearing and balancing of the body. The next is the photoreceptor. Photo word is related to the light. It means these are present in the eye and are responsible for the visual stimulus. They will receive the visual stimulus. The next is thermoreceptor. Thermo means, especially this word is related to the heat. Then thermoreceptor, they are present into the skin and they are responsible for the touch, pain, heat, etc. Right? Okay. Now next sense organs, they are called the olfactory receptor. Olfactory word is related to the smell. It means they are present in the nose and are responsible for the smell detection, right? Okay, now next is gustatory receptor. These are present into the tongue. This word is related to the taste, then these are for the detection of the taste, right? Okay, then how many are there? 1 2 3 4 5. 5 sense organs are there. Once again revise it. The first is the phonoreceptor. Phono means sound receiving organ or sense organ. Then second is the photoreceptor. This is the second one's photoreceptor. Then third is the thermoreceptor, and the fourth one is the olfactory receptor. Then fifth is the gustatory receptor. Is it clear to you? Okay. Now next is control and coordination in the animal. As I told you earlier, also in the previous slide, also it was the nervous system and endocrine system. These are the two systems. They coordinate together and controls all the activities which takes place in the body. Okay, now in your syllabus it is a human nervous system. Then we will study about the human nervous system. Then human nervous system is made up of specialized cells which are called neuron. These cells are called neuron, and these cells are specialized to transmit the impulses very rapidly in the form of the electric impulses into the from the sense organs to the brain, and brain to the target organ, right? Okay, now next is functions of nervous system. What are the functions of nervous system? Then the functions of nervous system is number one, it regulates involuntary and voluntary actions. Then second is it controls and coordinates uh, um, uh, involuntary, as I told you, it controls all the activity which takes place in our body, all the movements which are going on in our body. And nervous system receive information from the environment and interpret accordingly. Now next is it help in thinking, remembering and reasoning, and to control the activities of various system, right? It controls all the reflex action in our body and thus protecting us from any harm. Now as I told you, the nervous system is made up of neuron, a specialized cell neuron. Then we are going to discuss in detail about the neuron. The neuron is called structural and functional unit of the nervous system. It is called structural and functional unit of the nervous system, right? Then what is the unit of nervous system? Then the answer will be the neuron. These are highly specialized cells which are responsible for the transmission of the nerve impulses. Sorry. The neuron consists of the following parts. Then see, I will explain it with the help of the diagram. Now see the diagram. Each neuron or nerve cell has a cell body. This portion. This is called cell body or also called cytone. Cytone. It is the broadest part of the cell and has the large nucleus. You can see the nucleus inside it and the cytoplasm is there. Now the cell has many cytoplasmic processes or the extension. The thick and bigger one is called, this one is called axon. This one is called axon, right? Which carry impulses away from the neuron cell body. And there are many short cylindrical extension. These are called dendron. And these are further divided into the small branches. These are called dendrites, right? Dendron carry impulses towards the cell body. It means impulses will start from here, then they will move toward the cell body, then to the axon to the these nerve ending, and nerve ending to the next neuron. The axon is covered by the insulating or protecting sheet. You can see this protecting sheet. This is called myelin sheath. This is called myelin sheath. Once again, see this protective sheath is called myelin sheath. Okay, now the endings. These are the now endings, and these points are called axon terminals or nerve ending. And the myelin sheath is made up of connective tissues, and it is for the protection, or it also protect the impulses to be discharged into the environment, right? Okay, now next, types of neurons. Neurons are of three types. First one is called sensory, then motor neurons, and association or relay neurons. Sensory neurons, these are the neurons which receive the signals or receive the stimuli from the environment. And motor, these neurons send signals to the muscles or gland. And association or relay neurons, these neurons relay the signals between the sensory neuron and motor neurons. Okay, now next is transmission of the nerve impulses. Then the nerve impulses, I told you earlier also, these nerve impulses always received by dendrite, then these are passed to the cytone, then cytone to axon, axon to the these terminals. These are called also called synaptic nodes. And from these nodes, these are transferred to the next neuron, right? These are transferred to the next neuron. Okay, now see, dendrite to the cell body to the axon, axon to the nerve ending at the tip of the axon, and then synapse and dendrite of the next neuron. Okay, then what is synapse? I will tell you. Then chemical release from the axon tip of one neuron cross the synapse and neuromuscular junction to reach the next cell. Actually, now see, now what is a synapse? Then synapse are the point of contact. These points of contact uh, between the terminal branch of the one axon of one neuron with the dendrite of the other. These are the dendrite and this is the axon ending. जहाँ पे ये मिलते हैं उस जगह को हम क्या कहते हैं? Synapse. Right? Okay. Now next is neuromuscular junction. Uh, I want to tell you one more thing, that at the synapse, at the synapse, uh, the electrical impulses set off the release of some chemicals, and these chemicals cross the gap and start a similar electrical impulse in the dendron of the next neuron. It means synapse act as one-way valve, right? Okay. Now next is the neuromuscular junction. Next is neuromuscular junction. Then these are also called NMJ. Then neuromuscular junction is a point where the muscle fiber, you can see this is the, sorry, this is the muscle fiber. This muscle fiber comes in contact with the these motor neuron carrying the nerve impulses from the central nervous system. Okay, the impulses travel from the neuron to the muscle fiber by the mean of the neurotransmitter. यहाँ पे कुछ chemicals होते हैं which act as a neurotransmitter, जहाँ पे ये एक दूसरे को के contact में आ रहे हैं. And in the same way as the transmission of the impulses across a synapse between the two neurons, same way these are also transmitted to the neuron to the muscles. Okay, then enough for today. Thanks for watching me.